Good morning. Well, as probably everybody in this group knows, originally I was going to talk about this the first Wednesday in February because we were hoping to jumpstart the year with a lot of new ideas, okay? But God had a different plan for me. And I ended up getting sick, so we had to put it off. So I got thinking about it this morning and I thought, okay, well, this is more like a spring cleaning thing. You know how when you go from spring to summer, you go in your closet and you take the winter stuff out and put the spring stuff in, and change a few things around and so on and so forth. Well, that's what this is about. And I thought it was really appropriate, our devotional this morning, when Pat talked about letting things go. And Susan and I were talking this morning, and that's one thing that's hard for older adults to do. We get very comfortable in sitting in the same seat, standing in the same place, doing the same things day after day after day. And it's a comfort zone for us, yes. But sometimes we need to do things a little bit different to make life a little more exciting, because it can get pretty boring when you're doing the same thing all the time, even if it is comfortable, okay? So anyway, this is some information actually that Steve gave to me, but it's interesting information. It's got a lot of good ideas in it. And I was going to start by saying, how would you feel if you could do something for only 30 days if you knew that it would change your life? How would you feel about that? You think you can make 30 days? I see a lot of heads. Is 30 days scary? Just changing your life is scary, okay? But you can make small change. Doesn't have to be big change, okay? Does anybody have an idea of how long it takes to create a habit? How long a period of time would you say it takes to create a habit? 2 weeks? Actually, the scientists say 3, okay? 3 weeks to create a habit. How long would you say that it takes to make something an automatic behavior? Not quite that long. She said 6 months, not quite. It's actually 2 to 3 months. If you do something consistently for 2 to 3 months, it becomes an automatic behavior, okay? So let's start by saying, what do you think of the idea of counting calories? I bet a lot of people are thinking annoying. I'm seeing a lot of head shake, nerdy, anal retentive, obsessive, okay? And a few other things that I won't mention that people probably think when they think about that. But it's eye-opening, and that's the point of this, okay? What if you did it, though, for only once? Could you do it for one time for 30 days? Could you count calories? Because it could change your life if you did something like that and counted calories for 30 days, just once. If you knew that was going to be an end to it. We go and we do a lot of these diets, and they're not for just 30 days. They're for a long time. But there are things that you can do in 30 days to change your life that after the 30 days, you will almost automatically do. And it gives you better health, okay? And Susan just said too, it makes you aware, which is a very good idea. How many calories do you eat? Does anybody know? And have you ever noticed if you join some of these things like, oh, there's so many, there's the keto diet, the Mediterranean diet, Weight Watchers, all these kinds of things. When we're doing those, a lot of times we're measuring things, at least I did. A cup of this, a half a cup of that. Well, then after a while, you forget about the cup, you forget about the half a cup, and you just scoop it onto that plate, okay? If you measured that, it would probably be more than a half a cup or a cup. So you're eating more than a serving. So what if the only thing you did different for those 30 days was to actually measure that food? If a serving is a half a cup, instead of just scooping it on that plate, what if you actually used a half a cup measure and actually measured it? Do you know that that could make a difference? It's a small thing, but that could make a difference. Not a big deal, right? Okay. It shrinks your stomach. Because when you get used to eating less, then, yeah, exactly, because your stomach feels too full, you feel bloated. A good example of that, when I was sick, for 1 week, I didn't eat or drink hardly anything. Don't suggest that for anybody. Don't do that. But one thing I did notice, and I've never had this happen before, is then when people were telling me I had to eat, I just didn't feel like it, So your stomach shrinks, and then you have to start with a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. So,
I had something kind of off the wall.
sure.
My vet said, "How much are you feeding your dog?" And I said, "Oh, a cup,
Yeah.
a scoop."
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, okay. Let me." He went and got a plastic
Uh-huh.
glass that had exact measurements. On
Yep.
it. He said, "Measure that scoop into this glass." Well, the food fell right out of the scoop.
Of course.
I was giving my dog too much food.
Yeah.
The dog was putting on weight.
Yeah.
And so the measurement he gave me, I still use.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're doing that for your dog. You do it for yourself. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So, and it takes just a minute to look at that box or bag or whatever you're taking things out of and see what the prescribed serving size is. Now, some people will say they're not all accurate, but if you're not doing anything anyway, what difference does it make? Use what it says. So if it prescribes a serving size of a half cup, try it for a while. See what a half cup is. Some people say it takes too much time, and yet, yes, just try it. Just try it. Some people think when they see it's a fourth of a cup or a third of a cup, that's nothing. I can't do that. But try it. Just give yourself a chance. Another thing that people say when we're doing this kind of stuff is it takes too much time. But how much time do we watch TV? How much time do we spend on our phone? How hard would it take just a little time to take care of yourself and your health and do that? Look at the serving size, measure it out. It's not a big deal. Some people say that counting calories triggers an unhealthy relationship with food. You stop seeing the joy and togetherness food can bring and see only protein, carbs, and fats to obsess over. Well, actually, the doctor will tell you that if you're feeling that way, maybe it's time you consult with somebody, a dietitian, okay? Because if it's an emotional eating thing, if it's a stressor, if it's something like that, you need more than a diet. You need some help. You need to talk to somebody, okay? Uh-huh. All right. Now, another thing. Repeat it? Okay, I can do that. Okay. Another thing too that they suggest is adding one new food each week. Now that goes back to, I know we're all older people and we like everything the same, but it can be fun to try new things, okay? I'm not telling you to try something that you think you're gonna absolutely hate, but there are so many new varieties coming into the grocery stores now, so many new varieties of vegetables and fruit and things. Try something new. Mentally tell yourself, I'm going to try one new thing a week. Yes, Jennifer was saying that'll make it more fun. Yes, it does. Make it fun. Make it be a fun thing. When you go to get groceries, try something new. Try something you haven't tried before. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And she's saying that makes you feel, ever been in your house and you think, I haven't got a thing to eat? Okay. Well, what if you had something that you hadn't tried before? It could be fun to try that. Okay. So try things. That's another way to add. Okay. Yes, exactly. And you get the things that are on your list and you don't deviate and so on and so forth, but make it a fun time. The more fun life is, the more enjoyable it is, and we want it to be enjoyable, okay? Susan was saying about building awareness, and that's very, very important to build awareness. By building awareness, we make better choices, more informed choices, and that's why we read packages. We look at serving sizes. You can even look up, I do this every once in a while, look up something on the internet and say, what is in that, that's healthy for me? Like if specifics, potassium. What has potassium in it? That's not the only thing though. You look it up sometime. You would be surprised what has potassium in it. Apricots, yes, Eileen said apricots, and you're right. There are a lot of really good things that have potassium, and it doesn't have to be bananas all the time. okay? Okay, and keep in mind that you can't adjust your diet if you're not sure of how much you're eating. Again, that brings in measuring, looking at serving sizes, okay? How much money, that's another thing, saving money. It actually will save you money if you think about it. If you're buying things and you're using the serving size, you will use less of the product probably, and that'll save you money. On the other end of it, have you ever put something on your plate and ended up throwing some of it away? You just wasted money. What if you measured that? What if you actually put a half a cup there and you ate it and you told yourself, I'm going to be satisfied with a half cup? You're not throwing things away. So you're saving money. And that's something that's important to all of us, is saving money. At least it is to me. Okay, so we've talked about food. Something else that's important in our 31 days of health is doing some kind of exercise. That's one thing that we all need to do, is some sort of exercise. And coming to this class is wonderful and great. And I hope that everybody that's hearing me right now is doing that, okay? But how about adding one activity to that? Maybe something you haven't tried before. How many people come to our stretching, balancing, and breathing class? Yes, okay. Are there some of you out there that don't though? Have you tried it? I'll tell you what, the way I got started with this type of thing was when I hurt my back and I went to my doctor, and I went through a lot of things before I finally started feeling better. The last thing he said to me was, you find yourself a yoga class and you do that for the rest of your life, because that will help you with that back. And I did that. And our balancing, breathing, and stretching class is very similar to a yoga class. It does the same kinds of things. And I am sure that it has really saved me. Okay, so if you've got bad shoulders, bad back, bad knees, bad hips, that balancing, breathing, and stretching class can be a lifesaver for you and make things so much better for you. Okay, but not on the floor. No, when I first started it, it was full yoga, floor up and down. In our senior class, we don't do the floor because getting down is not so bad, but it's a getting back up. So we stay off the floor, okay? So you're comfortable in the fact you don't have to get on the floor, okay? And that was the other thing, Jen. Yes. Oh, yes. And that's another thing I was going to bring up is our line dancing class. Adding an activity to what you do is going to make such a difference in your life, okay? Try it. Try it. Line dancing is so much fun. It's a wonderful form of exercise. It makes you feel good. You get to listen to the music. You get to learn something new. It's a wonderful, wonderful form of exercise. It can change your life. Yep, that's right. Jennifer was saying, don't forget the 21-day rule. Remember? No, but you're right. Remember what we said about 3 weeks to create a habit? So that means when you start doing something, you need to do it consistently for 3 weeks. If you do it consistently for 3 weeks and you really hate it, okay, you've given it a shot, but give it a shot, okay? And the other thing that I was going to talk about is walking, okay? We were cooped up this year for such a long, long time. And the first thing that I got to do when I wasn't cooped up was put my mask on and go out for a walk, okay? So when I'm talking about adding an activity to your activities, what about a walk? 20 minutes, that's not that long. Take your cell phone along. Time yourself, walk 10 minutes away, walk 10 minutes back. Do that 3 times a week. And at whatever time of the day is comfortable for you. In the winter time, I walk in the afternoon. In the summertime, I walk in the morning. I adjust it to where it's comfortable for me. But it feels so good to listen to the birds and listen to the breeze in the trees and see people and say hello. That was a big thing when I first got out of the COVID thing. I had my mask on and they have their mask on, but we'd say hello to each other. It was human contact, And that's something a lot of us older people are cooped up a lot. And just getting out to walk around that block and get out and hear the sounds of nature, say hello to somebody. That can make a big difference in our life.
If you have a dog, your dog will appreciate it a lot.
Yes, and as Susan was saying, yes, if you have a dog, your dog will love it getting out. Yes. So yes, exactly, exactly. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's gonna, and you can, if you can step up faster, then great, but if you can't, you're still working your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Doing something different, like we do in our classes, it's so diverse.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps it challenging.
Yeah.
So anyway, the fun part of keeping you interested in something.
Right. Now, I know you can't hear everything that Jennifer is saying, so I'm going to try to rephrase that. Okay. She's talking about when you go for a walk, keeping it interesting. Okay. We are so fortunate here in Pflugerville to have the beautiful trails that we have. Take advantage of them. The lake. I love the lake. I love to walk around the lake. Okay. Take advantage of that. We're so fortunate. And we're also fortunate, like she said, because we have steps on some of the trails that you can walk up and down steps. Excellent, excellent exercise. We have curbs. You can walk up and step down and step up and step down. There are so many forms of exercise that we can take advantage of here in our community, and we should be doing that. Okay. And just try some of these things for the next 30 days. It's not a big ask, but it could make a big difference in your life. And we all need a jump start. We all need somewhere to start after a year of being locked up and locked down. Yeah, and we need this. We need a breather. We need to try new things. We've had to try new things. That's one thing about older people. I know that a lot of times we don't like to try new things. We have had to try all kinds of new things this year, and we're going to in the future, because we are never going back. Let's face it, we are never going back to what normal used to be. This is a new normal. We hear about that a lot, and we have to adjust with the new normal. So try some new things, make yourself healthier, let yourself be happier. Like Pat said, let it go. Let's let it go and move on. Okay? And you will be happier for it. Yes. Exactly. So I hope that you have got some good information out of this. And I hope it encourages you to try new things, try new foods, try measuring foods, try going for a walk, try new forms of exercise, try line dancing. Let's start over again and change our life, make our life better. Okay? Okay.
That was a really good class, and it was great having you with us today. You're invited to reach out with an email or phone call to find out more about the activities of the PCC 50 Plus Health Nuts Group. We're a group of seniors caring for seniors with activities to enhance and enrich our lives. New classes are posted regularly, so hit the subscribe button and you won't miss any of them. Share this YouTube channel with your friends and let's get them started to a healthier lifestyle too. Look forward to hearing from you, and let me know if you want to learn more about the criteria to register to attend in person. Online's nice, but in person can be better. Until next time, keep the faith and move some every day.